"I can lift the case up," said Emil. "I'm not a baby." "All right." His mother was looking serious again. "You must get out at the right station in the city," she said. "It's the East Station, not the West Station. Your grandmother will be by the ticket office." "I'll find her, Mother." "Don't throw paper on the floor of the carriage when you eat your food. And don't lose the money." Emil opened his jacket and felt in his pocket. "Don't worry," he said. "It's safe." The train came into the station. Emil kissed his mother and climbed into a carriage with his case. His mother gave him the flowers and food. "Is there a seat for you?" she asked. "Yes," said Emil. "Be good. And write to me." "You must write to me, too." "Of course. Now, be nice to your cousin, Polly." The carriage doors were shut, and the train moved slowly out of the station. Mrs. Fisher waved her hand for a long time. Then she turned round and went home. She felt sad, but she only cried for a short time. She had to do her work. Chapter 2. The Thief. Emil took off his school cap and said, "Good afternoon," to the other people in the carriage. He sat opposite a fat lady. She was only wearing one shoe, because her left shoe hurt her foot. She was sitting beside a man with a big nose. "Boys are not usually so polite," she said to the man. As she talked, she moved her painful foot up and down. Emil put his hand in his pocket. He wasn't happy until he felt the little bag. He looked at the other people in the carriage. They didn't look like thieves. There was another woman sitting to the right of the man with the big nose. She was sewing, making a cap for a baby. At the window, next to Emil, a man with a black hat was reading a newspaper. Suddenly the man put down his paper and took some sweets from his pocket. "Would you like one?" he asked Emil. "Thank you very much," said Emil, taking one of these sweets. "My name's Emil Fisher," he said. The other people in the carriage smiled in a friendly way. The man lifted his hat and said, "My name's Green." Then the fat lady asked Emil, "Does Mr. Smith still own the cloth shop in Newton?" "Oh yes," said Emil. "Do you know him?" "Yes. I'm Mrs. James from Greenfield. I hope he's well. Can you tell him that?" "Yes, of course," replied Emil. "Are you going to the city?" Mr. Green asked Emil. "Yes. My grandmother's meeting me at the East Station ticket office." He felt in his pocket. The paper money in the bag made a little noise. It was still there. "Do you know the city?" "No." "Well, it will surprise you. Some of the houses there are 600 meters high. They tie the roofs to the sky. Then the houses don't move in the wind. And what do you do if you want to get to another part of the city quickly? Do you know?" "No," Emil answered, thinking, "This is a strange man." "You are put in a box at the post office, and then you travel by post. And if you have no money, you can get £50 from a bank. But you have to leave your head there." "Is your head at the bank?" the man with the big nose said. "Stop telling the boy stupid stories." The two men began to shout. Fat Mrs. James stopped moving her foot, and the other woman stopped sewing. Emil was happy, because the strange man couldn't talk to him now. He took out his food and began to eat his bread and butter. Then the train stopped at a big station. The two ladies and the man with the big nose got out. Mrs. James was almost shoe late, because she couldn't get her shoe on. "Tell Mr. Smith what I said," She called to Emil as she left the train. Now Emil and the man with the black hat were alone. Emil wasn't very pleased about this. He didn't want to be with a strange man who gave away sweets. A man who told silly stories. Emil wanted to feel the money again, but not in front of the other man. Then the train started again. Emil went to the washroom at the end of the carriage. He took the little bag out of his pocket and counted the money. It was still there, but how could he make it safer? Then he remembered. There was a pin in his jacket. He took out the pin and pushed it through the bag, the paper money and the cloth of his inside pocket. The money was safe now. Emil went back to the carriage. Mr. Green was asleep. Emil was glad. Now he didn't have to talk to him. He looked out of the window. He enjoyed watching the trees, the fields and the houses. Mr. Green continued sleeping. Sometimes he made little noises. Emil watched him. Why did he always keep his hat on? Emil noticed his long face and thin ears. Suddenly Emil jumped with surprise. I nearly went to sleep. I mustn't do that, he told himself. He didn't like being alone with Mr. Green. Emil wanted more people in the carriage, but nobody came. He kicked his foot to stay awake. He sometimes did this at school in history lessons. For a short time, this helped him. He thought about his cousin, Polly. What did she look like now? It was 2 years since he last saw her. He couldn't remember her face very well. Some minutes later, he nearly fell off his seat. Have I been asleep? He thought. He kicked his foot again. Then he counted the flies on the window. He counted them from the bottom to the top. He counted them from the top to the bottom. And then he counted them again. First there were 24. Then there were 23. Why does the number change? Emil asked himself. Then he fell asleep.